welcome to the Jade podcast. I'm your host, Shey, and with me this time, I've got Aneil,
Hey, what's up?
and we got, long time no see, Dan.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, so hey, we made it back from Gencon. Some of us, that was a more difficult journey than others.
Yeah, I was following along. I was getting like a story from you.
I know, dude, it's always fun when the oil plug comes out of your cars and you're trapped at Buc-ee's in Springfield, Missouri for 4 hours.
Look, if there's a place that you're going to be stuck at, I think that Buc-ee's is definitely the place to be. You have everything that you could possibly need from a location all in one spot. You have food, you have snacks, you have gas, which you can put in your car while you're waiting for the oil plug to get put back in.
Oh man, poor Sam though, with like the celiac. She's like, I was just in like the center of my kryptonite. I was like, oh no.
I guess that's true. I don't know how friendly Buc-ee's is to dietary restrictions, but
It
for
was
those who
fun.
don't have them, enjoy.
Yeah, she was in her Badoofy shirt that she got at Gen Con, and like people kept coming up to ask her like she was an employee.
I did see a lot of those actually at Gen Con. I don't know what booth they were at, but they were pretty sweet.
Yeah, they were at like two different T-shirt booths, and I was like, all right, I had to get a Badoofy shirt. Like that's GG
Well, it
easy
was fate
buy.
then that she ended up at the Buc-ee's in Missouri.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a pretty eventful Gen Con. I know, Dan, you got to play in one of the big Gen Con events.
I did, yes. Thanks to some folks who had some extra tickets, I was able to go ahead and play in the large event on Saturday, which was my first ever actual Star Wars tournament. So that was very exciting.
Yeah, no, you got to run the Sabine Green Buzzsaw. Or no, you're on Sabine Yellow.
Yes, I was playing Sabine Yellow. Just because so obviously this is probably y'all's first time hearing me on here. I've just picked up the game about a week plus or so ago. So I wanted to play a deck that I didn't have to know a whole lot of intricacies about, and so classic me playing Boros, playing Lion. I picked up a deck that was very straightforward and go face.
Sabine is fun. Sabine Go Burr is just a fun way to go through an event.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The event itself was pretty big. I think it ended up not being capped out at the full 128. There were some people who I guess didn't claim their tickets or didn't show up, and so some waitlist people got in, and we ended up at just 126. So it's still pretty close to full. But it was great. First and foremost, I guess, shout out to the tournament software that this game is using, Limitless. It's wonderful. It's got a lot of cool features. You can see live pairings, which is great. It's got a round timer on the app itself, and so it's a big improvement from some of the other tournament softwares that are out there for bigger games. Looking at the companion app for one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the companion app is so bad.
But it was great. So it was 7 rounds, and basically the format for these large events was just you play rounds until the 7 rounds is complete, and then whatever the standings are after that, people get prizing according to however they ended up. So it was a lot of big names were there, I think, uh, and a lot of good competition. I ended up 4-3 on the day. I was 4-0, and then I ran into a bunch of decks that kind of ran me over. So and, it was almost a fairy tale ending for me. But congratulations to all the people who were able to get that sweet top 16 prizing. It was a playmat for one of the big ships. I forget which one exactly.
It's a finalizer.
Yeah, finalizer. So, pretty cool playmat. And yeah, otherwise it's just a bunch of pack support, but it was still cool just to see this many people are excited about the game. All the events sold basically immediately, so I was lucky to get a ticket. Um, but yeah, it seems like the game is doing really well, and I'm hoping that we get some more events coming up in the future. I had a lot of fun with this event, and I thought that I had a lot of fun playing the game itself. So looking forward to playing some more.
Yeah, no, I know me and you, Neil, you got to jump in a fair number of the drafts that they were running with like the devs and stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the limited of this game. I think having a good limited format is really awesome and definitely a huge selling point of just jumping into the game. If you don't want to, for TCGs, a lot of people have price aversion or like they just aren't ready for that kind of commitment. But like, you can just draft and build up your collection that way. Set two seems to have quite a bit better product allocation, so it's definitely still around there. At least in Indiana, to draft with.
Yeah, I think a lot of stores kind of learned how to kind of pace it out a bit better after how set one went. So hopefully, folks will be able to get their hands on stuff a bit easier this go around.
Yeah, I think the big limiting factor for us down here in Louisiana, as usual, our allocation is not nearly as good as it is in the Midwest, but people are clamoring for it. I know that I joined the Louisiana SWU groups, and people are trying to get some drafts organized. They're just waiting on the product to come in. A friend of mine who owns one of the game stores says that it's a little tough with Asmodee sometimes. They just don't really give out a lot of products. And so we're kind of just waiting on the next wave of boxes to come in, and hopefully, that continues to expand. I think if there's anything that Asmodee and Fantasy Flight can really take away from this weekend is that people really want to play this game. People are into it. It's a good game, and there's a lot of interest in it. So hopefully that's their sign to be like, okay, well, we can go ahead and up the production. We can send out more boxes. We can just make things more available so that way people have the ability to play the game. Like say Lorcana, for example. I know Lorcana had a lot of issues with distribution at the beginning of the game, and that kind of stymied the growth for the communities. So you don't want to end up in that situation where people lose interest in your game because you don't have the product to support them.
Definitely, definitely. Especially, man, like what with the regionals all sold out in like, or a bunch of them sold out in like 12 hours, and they were capped at like 128.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? So they did the regional qualifiers, I guess, started. They put them all out, and there's I think only 20 of them across the country.
Yeah,
So yeah, all 20 of them I think sold out pretty much within a day of their registration opening. They're doing them in game stores, so space obviously is a limiting factor there, but it's gonna be one of those things where it's I hope that this this plus the Gen Con event really shows them that there's enough interest for them to really take a chance and expand on the organized play scene and the product distribution and all kind of stuff like that.
for
Not
sure.
not to be that guy, but it's these are planetary qualifiers.
Sorry, yes, the planetary
So I don't.
qualifier.
I'm sure it'll matter later, just because we don't have any other tournaments right now, so it's not a big deal. But like, it is technically a different tournament than region. So we'll have to find out next season when all three of the qualifier events are. Find out kind of like.
Yeah, if I remember right, because they put out the diagram, these are kind of the analog to what like a regional would have been back under like the old school like LCG structure. But yeah, it's like they're the planetaries. I don't know. I have, I still have, the good old L5R when everything was just elemental what, elemental this, elemental that, and it was very confusing.
Yeah, there was no, coming from L5R, there definitely was not a whole lot of clarity in the structure. But I mean, I think one good thing compared to L5R is that these events have all sold out immediately, as opposed to when L5R we had our cotes and stuff like that. We had some massive cotes, and then we had some cotes that were barely scraping by at like 20 plus 20 to 30 people or so. And so the fact that every single one of these has sold out in every region
Like the
is a
same
good
day
sign.
too. Like I
Yeah.
think I think most of them sold out day of, or like the next day they were all the slots were gone.
Yeah,
I know some of the stores are doing wait lists.
Yeah.
Chicago one for this.
It's interesting also. So like a big thing. So what kind of I think hurt the Kotes is it's hard to do side events for L5R, and like the LCGs in general, side events were a bit tough. Luckily with this game, like side like you can run side event drafts and stuff at these like I guess the system qualifiers are the equivalent of what like a Kote would have been. So it's like these bigger ones that might be inside like conventions or bigger spaces. At least there will be side events and stuff where if you're taking like a weekend off work to travel a decent distance, it's not like, well, I lost my first like 2 games, I guess this was all for nothing. You at least now there are like some side events that may fire and you can get a fun weekend of like draft or multiplayer or something.
Yeah, and
For
that's
sure.
going back to what Anil was saying earlier, where it's that's the benefit of having a really good limited format for your game, to where you can it's very easy for you to have these kind of side events available. Where if you're an LCG, you don't have draft really, you don't have seal that you can do, and it's hard to you don't have the built-in structure for stuff like Twin Suns, for example. But this game does have all these things available to it, so it can have a full on event where you have everything that you want to kind of do all together in one spot.
For sure. And man, were they firing draft pods at Gencon? It's like constantly there is a draft pod going on.
They all sold out. I mean, I think Sunday might have had some like on when I was looking on Saturday night, but like I'm sure those also sold out.
Yeah, no. It from what I gathered, it was there were folks that were just showing up with like generic tickets waiting
Mhm.
for them just to be like, huh? Did someone not show up? I'll take the spot.
Yeah, basically. Because like if you refunded, because like you can refund your Gen Con ticket for generics or system credit, like you
Mm-hmm.
take like a $2 fee or whatever. So I know quite a few people who just like were like tired or like some conflicting thing that opened up and so they just like when I was doing my events, like the draft and seal pods were like up until like 8 or 9 by like the afternoon. So I imagine they fired probably like 10 or 12, like 10 or 12 plus.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with the head judge, or like I guess the head TO, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just like talking about the limited and yeah, I mean I think it was kind of shaky day one. They didn't quite have a format. Like they were playing. It was they played the first round best of one single elimination.
Oh jeez.
So kind of brutal for just like a play experience. So they and then they also like didn't quite understand how to work around one for drafts. But like once they ran super smoothly. So like the next I did some on Saturday or on Friday, and they ran way smoother. So definitely kudos to the TOs and the judge staff there for kind of getting it all under control and making the experience better.
Yeah, I looked out because after I guess if you're listening to this and you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, our interview with Tyler went up. But yeah, after the Tyler interview and stuff, was able to jump in and do some drafting and stuff with him, and that was fun. And then the content creator meet and greet, you joined me at that Aneil, and we got to do some drafting and stuff and meet folks.
I got to play against the person who makes the rules for the game. His name is Ryan. He's really cool, and I crushed.
Hey, I did us proud. I did beat Tyler whenever I had to play against him in our
Your deck
draft
was
pod.
really good.
Oh yeah, no, the Bosk one, yeah, it was gross.
I thought you were cat. Oh, okay, you were boss. I thought you ended up on cat bin.
Oh yeah, no, the first draft where I actually got to play against Tyler, I was on Bosk, and
Okay.
like the table had passed me 3 of the 0 blue bounty that just gives shields. So I'd get like Trandoshan
Oh, we're just like
hunters. It was just gross.
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, no, it was a good fun time. It was fun getting to the interview was fun, despite the fact that I had to like drop to Plan C as far as our recording equipment went. But that's what
It
you
looked
got to
pretty
do.
simple. Like when I stopped by, I chat with Tyler. I watched like the tail end of your interview. I mean, it looked good.
Yeah, no, it was yeah, it was a learning experience. So I think I got things sorted out. So if we ever do something like that again, it should go a little bit easier.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll get a different bag to haul all the equipment because man, it was fun It was fun on Thursday weaving through the halls with a tripod strapped to my backpack. That wasn't, didn't feel like I was gonna like kneecap anyone at all.
Yeah, it's it's kind of funny watching since there is so much tabletop happening at Gen Con, like people like bring some serious like uh cargo equipment to bring all their stuff around. Like I see like people walking from like several blocks away with like little wagons that I usually only see during Mardi Gras. And like they have like all their little like crates and Tupperware and boxes and stuff like that in there. And so it's yeah, you're gonna have to get yourself something like that for sure next year.
I know. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my my battle cart.
Get you like a stroller and say, "Oh yeah, there's no child inside. It's just my camera."
Yeah, this is some of my camera equipment, some snacks.
Okay. Also, some photographers take their camera equipment very seriously. So
Yeah. Now it was also fun because I did get to play the Halo miniatures game with Tyler as well because they had that early at Gen Con, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah, my experience with Tyler was I ran into him in the line for Island Noodles, um, which
the
it's a
A Gen Con established island.
it is truly a Gen Con classic. But we had a nice little conversation. It's been I hadn't seen him obviously since Worlds of 2019, I guess it was. And we talked for a bit, and I think the big thing about the game is that it feels fresh and exciting. And so as someone who's just coming into the game, I think that that's the thing that I've really seen the most so far is that other people have kind of talked to me about picking the game up, just like in passing. Like I was at a Flesh and Blood tournament earlier this year, and one of my opponents was asking me, oh, do I play any other card game stuff? And then he started talking about playing Star Wars Unlimited, and that it was a good game for him to pick up just like on the side, and that it was both simple and accessible and approachable, and also rewarding enough from a gameplay experience to make it worth playing.
For sure. No, it's been fun. It's also been nice just to have the our Discord backfiring again and people like theory crafting and everything.
Yeah, as a new player, I think I would say that my experience with the game so far has been great. It's been all the things I just said are true that I found, but the deck building I think is one part that I've really enjoyed, and that it feels like there's a lot of flexibility. It feels like if you change up the color and you change up the leader on anything, then that makes a big difference as far as how the deck itself wants to play. And it feels from a gameplay perspective like your deck building decisions are making a big impact on what you're trying to do and what you want to do. So whether it's the main Premier format or whether it's Twin Suns, um, I think that there's a lot of room for self-expression, and I think you don't really get that with a lot of card games nowadays. A lot of times with some games you're just kind of you feel obligated to just stuff in all I'll play all the best cards and then we'll make it work from there, and that's kind of how deck building goes. Like there's not but for this you can still play your favorite hero, and find a way to make the deck work for you in a way that doesn't feel like, oh well, I'm just making something that's totally garbage.
Yeah, no, the side grades are there. There are some things that you can like pivot to. I mean, prime example, the Hondo player, what, on Friday of Gen Con, that was on, what was it, Hondo Blue, I think? Just
Yeah, he was playing Hondo Blue.
went like undefeated because like everybody was on like yellow Han and yellow Boba, and he just ate those decks alive from what I gathered.
Yeah, and so I mean, I guess talking about the meta for a second,
Mm-hmm.
this might be a good segue point here. Yeah, so for those who are wondering about what was being played, first of all, someone's been keeping a spreadsheet up on the main Screw Discord that has a lot of the deck lists from like the top placements, and also I was looking through it today, and there's a bunch of deck lists from people who like got like 60th or like 80th or something like that. So it's like, there's a lot of a variety for you to go look at if you really feel like going to check it out. But for the most part, I think it's kind of what a lot of people expected. There's a lot of Boba Fett, the yellow one, not the bad one, uh, and a lot of Sabine as well too. I think they kind of made up the vast majority of the field between the two of them. But apart from that, there's still enough room for some other decks to kind of shine as well too. Like we saw um, uh, the Yellow Han deck win. We saw a Kira deck win. Um, we saw some people playing Emperor Palpatine. Some of the blue villain characters as well too. So
Krennic was doing well.
yeah, Krennic, I think also did pretty well too. So yeah, definitely a lot of it feels open right now, right? To
Mhm.
where yes, obviously Boba Fett and Sabine are the top dogs right now, but you still have some other decks that can work their way into the top. It's hard to say, we can't really say, okay, well, this deck is for sure the best. This deck is for sure, counter this because uh, the format, like I was talking about earlier, it was just 7 rounds of Swiss. There's no top cut. You don't really get uh, a good look at what would it be like if all these decks got mashed together in single elim. But just as a picture for what to expect if you're going to go to an event, I think things kind of worked out exactly as you might have foresawn.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, yeah, if you're building something, make sure it can handle Old Han yellow, Sabine green, and Boba yellow. If it can't at least have some game plan into those three, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, for sure. I think those are just like the meta checks of how good a deck can be.
For sure. Still blows like kudos on the Hondo blue player. I was also keen to I think they put the I think the deck list for the Young Han blue deck that did well got posted.
I have no idea. Yeah, I think there was like a spreadsheet that's in one of the other discords
Yeah, I think it
that has
did
all.
because I think I was looking at it. But yeah, no, I'm just curious. I'm excited to kind of tinker around with like and against what kind of was popular there at Gen Con. But
Yeah, I think as we head into planetary qualifier season, we'll start seeing some more competitive metas, some more refined meta games, and we'll get a lot more data, which is really all we're missing from the game. Is just like we need events.
for sure. I know. Speaking of events, we've started incepting the idea of your for your consideration campaign for uh, casting worlds.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know. I don't even think that's Inception. I mean I think that Chris and I did a great job for casting L5R worlds, and I would gladly cast Star Wars worlds. I think casting is a ton of fun.
Oh yeah, no, it's
It's also a lot easier to cast this game because it's a little bit more. There's a lot less nuance of like setting up. Like you're setting up maybe like one or two plays in advance, whereas L5R is like, well, 7 actions down the road, he's gonna make this action, and you'll understand why he did it, right? That kind of thing.
I know that one year that I got to do a little bit of the casting for you guys took over for the top cuts. It was so hard. I was like, oh, I got to get provide context to the viewer of what's going on and what's happening and like all these branching paths and it was like it's like oh cool. It'd be cool if I could breathe at some point during the match.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah. And I guess the other spicy bit of news Star Wars wise that came out of the con is we did get some spoilers for what the starter decks are going to be for Twilight of the Republic, which was fun. Uh, which also let us know at least two of the new keywords coming in the set with coordinate and what exploit does. So
Yeah,
yeah, coordinate as long as you control 3 or more units, whatever your coordinate ability is active. So for some of them, it's like, you know, a card may gain ambush, it may get an on attack trigger. But the more interesting to me is the exploit. So exploit lets you, whenever you go to play the card, you can defeat up to its exploit cost in units to reduce its cost by 2 for each unit you defeat that way. And we're getting a lot of ways, because there's not going to be shield or XP tokens that we know of in the next set. It looks like we're just getting a clone trooper tokens and battle droid tokens.
Yeah, battle droids are 1/1s and clone troopers are 2/2.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. I'm super excited for battle droid token shenanigans. As someone who plays a lot of blue green make a bunch of tokens nonsense, whenever I do play Magic, it's an archetype after my own heart.
Yeah, we're really starting to get into my favorite way to play card games, which is make a bunch of dudes. And so the more ways we have to generate actual creature tokens and that kind of thing, the wider, the better. That's what I want to do. So I'm excited to see those kind of things coming out with the set.
Yeah, and I guess just really quick, because in a tried and true Jade Throne tradition, I love to read the cards. So we've got the the heroic leader is going to be Ahsoka Tano, Snips, a aggression heroic Force Jedi Republic leader with coordinate action exhaust. Attack with a unit, it gets +1 attack for this attack. And then at 5 resources, Ahsoka flips out as a 3/6 with coordinate. This unit gets +2/+0. So it's all right.
Wait, I didn't realize her title was Snips. That's kind of sick.
Yeah, no, that's her nickname. In the Shatterpoint rulebooks, there are snippets, which is a little things of Ahsoka giving like rules explanations.
All right, that's kind of sick.
That's pretty fun. Yeah. But yeah, no, she's just there to, I think, demonstrate the coordinate keyword. Like, she's going to be a fine starter set like leader. I don't necessarily see her being like constructed. Like, she's competing with like Sabine and even Bo-Katan. So,
well, she has a keyword that neither of those units have, which is why I think it's pretty irrelevant. It's Force, yeah.
Though I think Force, if we're gonna be in the Republic, like kind of tail end of the Republic, like Clone Wars era in this set, presumably we'll probably get some more Force units. So, but yeah, Red Force.
Well, yeah, for leaders, like it basically currently on hero side leaders, like there is no Red Force unit, so being able to not be beholden to playing Rey, it's actually it's kind of good.
Fair enough, yeah. Then she'll be playing against General Grievous, who is the hero in the starter set I'm more excited about. And he is...
The hero.
Yeah. But yeah, he is cunning villainous, and it's General Grievous, General of the Droid Armies, Separatist official, and has action. Give a droid unit Sentinel for this phase, which is solid. It's like a Chewbacca, but for only droids. But at 6 resources, Grievous flips out as a 4/8, and on attack, you may give a droid unit +1 attack and Sentinel for this phase. Which, I love me Sentinels, and the droid archetype is looking like to make a bunch of little speed bumps. So, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I am interested to see how it plays. 4/8 is a lot of stats. He's basically like Cad Bane is the I guess the comparison in terms of stats, because Cad Bane is a raid 2/8, but his ability does damage, whereas Grievous's gives you can give droids. I wish he made a droid on attack. How sick would that be?
Yeah, though I won't discount the being able to give something Sentinel. Because
yeah, with initiative, you just give you're like a 1/1 Sentinel, right? That's pretty sick.
Yeah, or even if you don't, like, it just you're able to just really mess with like your opponent's tempo and like their math as far as like their damage per round with it. It's way more disruptive than like it sometimes like as someone who's played a bunch of Chewbacca, like I've accepted the fact that Chewbacca leader just dies to rivals fall. So I'm just playing him on his like give things that are 3 or less sentinel, but it's any droid sentinel. So you can throw it like we have like what IG-11 and stuff. Like some of these other random like villainous droids have decent like attack values. Like your opponent will actually have to put like a non-trivial amount of damage into them.
For sure.
Yeah. But we also have the General's Guardian here, who is a 4-cost command villainy 4/4 separatist droid that is when this unit's attacked, create a battle droid token. So I don't know, feels like you could make a bunch of little speed bumps that way.
I think his stats. I guess he's technically a 4 or 5 with like a 1/1 on a body.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, his stats are like kind of weird.
Yeah, I'll be curious because it's only whenever it's attacked. So I guess the idea is you drop it out, you have Grievous give it Sentinel or like +1 in Sentinel, and then you're getting some additional little battle droid tokens. And like those battle droid tokens count as a unit, so you can burn those for exploit to like ramp out some of these bigger things. Because we have the Hailfire tank, which is just an 8-cost villainous unit that is a 7/6 Separatist droid vehicle tank with exploit 2. So anything that like lets you just pop 2 little random battle droid tokens and like rush out a 7/6 that Grievous can turn into an 8/6 Sentinel feels okay.
Fair.
Yeah. We also have Captain Rex, who's a 6-cost heroic command 4/4 Republic clone trooper, and whenever you play him, you get 2 clone tokens. So he's effectively an 8/8 for 6 that automatically turns on coordinate.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah.
I think this card, if this archetype is playable, this is the card that will be like, I could see this in like old Han where you can ramp, like on the Han flip turn you have Han flip plus play Captain Rex. Like that's a lot of stats on board.
That's a lot of bodies on the board too.
And since he's 6 costs, you can also potentially U-wing him out too, which is nice.
Oh yeah, sick.
For sure. And also, presumably, playing devil's advocate for old Hunter, him being a named clone.
We're gonna need like 3 more sets, Shey, before you can start hitting us with your hunt.
I know. I'm just saying, Captain Rex is a character you would expect to get a bunch of versions. Like, I could see them giving us a starter deck, Captain Rex, and even one inside the set, just because he's one of the iconic clones.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Who also exists, like, yeah, he's across multiple eras. So, if anyone's going to do it, he's one of the first ones we'll probably see. Speaking of clones, we got Coruscant Guard, which is a 2-cost command 3/2 Republic clone trooper that has coordinate ambush, which is cute.
Yeah, it's
it's like
weird
a limited
card to
card,
have.
I think.
Yeah, I think limited is probably the place for this. It reminds me of like Cloud Rider kind of, where it's just like little drop in and nuke your guy for 3 kind of thing.
Yeah, especially being a common, like it's not bad, and it's still early. We don't know how engine buildy the droid and clone trooper tokens are going to be.
Yeah, I think this is mostly just so we got this spoiler just so we can see the types of things that they're going to put with coordinate.
Oh, 100%. Speaking of
I do think this could see some play though in constructed just as a 3/2 for 2. Like a lot of colors don't have good 2-drop combinations. And like this is in some decks slightly better than like Gamorrean cards.
Yeah. Also, I mean, he has trooper synergies, which is nice. There's a lot of ways to buff up troopers, but I expect clone and or republic to be a trait that has some sort of inbuilt synergy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Next up we have Anakin Skywalker, Maverick Mentor. This is a 5-cost aggression heroic 6/6 Force Jedi Republic with coordinate on attack. Draw a card. Yeah, he seems like, especially for a starter set card, like pretty solid.
I mean, he is post outline. It's 5 mana 6/6.
Yeah.
And has again relevant keyword of force.
Yep. And I mean, it's card draw is card draw.
No, I think this card is totally reasonable.
Yeah. Let's see. Then we got Separatist Commando. That is a 2-cost cunning villainy 2/3 Separatist droid trooper. While you control another Separatist unit, this unit gains raid 2. That's not bad for a 2-cost.
Yeah, it seems decent. It reminds me a little bit of a season short trooper where it's a potential upside on it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many separatist cards we have so far. I think we don't have any right now, right?
Oh no, we have Grievous as a separatist, the Guardian droid's a separatist, the tank is a separate. Like, basically, I think separatist is going to be the equivalent of Imperial for this set.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And I'm not sure, do the droid tokens have separatists? That is a good question that I am just...
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that and see.
Yeah.
I'll dig into it while we go through the rest of the spoilers.
They do. They are separatist droid troopers. All right.
Wonderful.
Okay, I think this guy might be a little silly. I'm excited. And speaking of things that make you those 1/1 separatist droid troopers, we have Battle Droid Escort, which is a 3-cost villainous unit that's a 1/1 separatist droid trooper that when you play it, creates a battle droid token, and when it's defeated, creates a battle droid token. Which is nice. It basically doubles itself, then replaces itself, and fuels a bunch of nonsense, so...
Well, it's a 3 mana for 3 1/1s.
Yeah.
Which you really do something with those 1/1s because 3 mana plays in this game are really strong right now. Like, it's either like all the 3 mana plays are like 3/5s or like strong space units or like client units or units like the client. Like, I don't know, 3 on 3. If your 3-drop is poorly contesting the board, I think you might get run over. So you really need to be exploiting.
Yeah, so either exploiting or like maybe there's like some kind of battle droid lord that they have in the set.
Oh, yeah. I would assume there's got to be some kind of anthem effect or something that, like, battle droids stronger together. But
like the coat of arms for battle droids.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Just a bunch of battle droid. Was it Mirror Sphere? I just want that with battle droids. Just a bunch of them in a ball.
I think that could happen.
And then the final one we have is a 3/32 Stalwart. A 1
Oh, no, I think you skipped the tank.
Oh, no, I talked about the tank when I was explaining exploit.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, the tank's silly. I'm excited for that tank. It's also worth noting, I guess, Asajj. We did see her card in Maul. I believe they're both separatists as well from the convention exclusive pack. And Asajj is an exploit 2 that costs 4. So, in theory, I guess you could play the battle droid escort and then exploit both of those droids that came out, and then you end up with Asajj and additional battle droid. So
Darth Maul is not a separatist. He's just Force Sith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Dooku who's the separatist.
There we go.
So he's our only currently existing separatist unit.
Did they not make Asajj Ventress one?
Well, yes, Asajj is one, but
okay.
I meant of the cards that are already released
okay.
and playable currently.
Okay.
Tyler did tell me that Asajj will be the only card in the game that can be reduced to 0.
That
in the upcoming set.
that's good.
So that's the reason her stats suck is that you can, in theory, on turn 3 you play 2 cards. You play a 2/4 and then another.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, no, the 30-second stalwart, 1 cost heroic, 1/2 Republic clone trooper, and it gets +1/+1 with coordinate. So it, it's a 1 cost. But yeah, those are the little starter deck cards we got previewed at Gencon. I expect we'll see spoiler season start ramping up. The set drops in November, probably September,
Yeah,
October.
in November they said that it's going to be released. And I think one thing that I learned from talking to Tyler is that they're trying to stick to this 3 set a year schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So in the future, we'll likely see the releases around the same times that we saw them this year. So probably summertime for the second set, and then sometime early spring or something like that for set 1 for the year.
Yeah, I think it's like like November, March, and July or something like that. So if they want to push that summer set and start releasing those in like June, it'd be great.
Just to get it a little bit earlier.
Sam's birthday is like the start of July, and that's
Oh,
when
okay.
the pre-releases and stuff were. So I was like, can't be going to the pre-release on your wife's birthday weekend. That's how you get in a lot of trouble.
Well, see, the trick is just to convince her to also play too.
Ah.
And then you can both go as a birthday celebration.
Bro.
Though I guess speaking of the upcoming sets, we did get what they're called. So we're gonna get Jump to Lightspeed, Legends of the Force, and Secrets of Power. So that, Legends of the Force is sounds like it might be a spicy set.
Sounds like it could be like older Republic stuff.
Oh, dude, if only.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's possible.
High Republic as well.
Is that
Yeah,
like the
there's
Jedi Golden Age?
Yeah, it's the era where there's a Wookiee Jedi.
Oh sure, yeah. I know you're in for that.
I'm all in for that.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about Star Wars is that especially nowadays too, they have done a lore squish, and some of the EU stuff isn't part of canon anymore. There's still a whole lot of Star Wars stuff that they can pull from. They've already shown that they'll reprint the same character as a different type of character. So you can keep on doing different permutations of everything. So there's a lot of creativity and flexibility for where they can go with any of the future sets. And so I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean they erased the extended universe, so we won't get the force canceling like weasels that Thrawn strapped to all those
What?
stormtroopers.
Oh sure, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Voice canceling weasel.
yeah, it's canon.
Shay, that sounds like something that you wrote in like fanfic.
Nope, it is canon to like the Timothy Zahn novels from way back in the day. It's my favorite whenever people were like, the old extended universe was like perfect. I'm like, nope, Thrawn's original plan was force canceling weasels.
Sure.
Yeah. Just embrace. Star Wars always has been a little goofy, and it's okay for it to be a little goofy.
No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think that the game definitely has space for that.
Yeah, I can't wait for Gungan Typal.
We don't need those. We can avoid that aspect. I said it's okay being goofy. Gungans aren't goofy. They're just the worst. We can accept exactly what.
Yeah, I expect them to get a card in the set. Actually,
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
this set is very prequel focused, so I'm expecting to get a little bit of that, even if we don't like it.
Yeah, I want a Sepulpa. It's just him and his pod racer, and it like
Oh,
explodes.
we better get some pod racers, like some land vehicles.
I mean, it writes itself. Like your pod racer has to be like an ambush card or something, right?
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that covers just about everything that happened at Gen Con and everything. I know I think like none of us have had really a chance to like deep dive the stats or anything.
I mean, I can tell you some stats. basically stats wise, it's just Boba Yellow and Sabine Green are decks that will get you good records, and then Han Yellow was the deck that has converted the most wins in tournaments. Not Gen Con specific. This is just like a general matter. It's like there's been like some SPG 1Ks and 2Ks.
Yeah. No, I think I don't know. I think it's also early in the set 2 meta. Like I think there's plenty of time still for like new things to pop up.
Well, I think you're a little. I don't know, Shey. I think you're being a little bit samurai child. It's just how card games work. We're in 2 sets. Like the card pool's not big enough for other things to like happen.
Yeah. I just really don't want to have to play against a lot of Boba Yellow.
Yeah, well,
Just,
here we are.
I'm trying to keep my optimism.
Yeah, there is definitely going to be a lot of that, and so yeah, we kind of talked earlier where I think so of my 7 matches, 2 of them were Boba Yellow, and 1 was Sabine Green. So you're gonna run into these decks wherever you go. They are both good and they're popular. So don't pretend like they don't exist or don't anticipate being able to dodge them because you're going to have to face them at some point in time. So make sure that if you're going to play a deck competitively, then it has answers for both these matchups.
Mm-hmm. And some form of villain control. Pick your flavor, I guess.
So like Krennic or Kira.
Yeah.
Those are the flavors.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, no, I think that covers it covers everything for Gen Con.
Did you talk about your con exclusive pack that you got?
I mean, I did win the lottery for that. And I also got the D&D book. Though I did end up to subsidize.
Did you get a free D&D book?
Oh no.
No,
sorry.
that was
Sorry.
mine.
Yeah, Dan got his D&D book for free.
Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I don't think anybody from Hasbro's listening, so
Yeah.
it's fine. I may have accidentally gotten one for free, but I did not win the lottery and get the compact though. Man, it was absolutely insane. So I don't know what other conventions they're going to be giving them out at, but make sure that you guys are ready to uh, do whatever it takes, I guess, to get them. I know at San Diego there were lines starting at like day before to go get them, and they were only doing 200 a day, same as Gen Con. So make sure that if you are trying to get one, if they're still doing them, that you are prepared to um, either be very lucky or very patient.
Yeah, no, dude, that Gen Con app was like, it was full Hunger Games. Like, I swiped and it was like, you're 37th in line, you're 300th in line. Like, what? And then it was in my cart, so. Yeah, no. That con exclusive pack subsidized my horrible impulse spending the entire con.
Well, that's the beauty of Gen Con, right? Is that it's all about impulse spending. It's all right there in front of you. For those of you who have not been to Gen Con before, I know I talked about this the first time I went to Gen Con on this podcast. Um, it's a wonderful experience. I've gone several years now, and there's a whole lot for you to do, a whole lot for you to see. Besides just playing in card tournaments, uh, even though card tournaments can be very lucrative for you if you're playing the right
One
cards.
Piece.
But that being said, there's still a lot of things that you can do and check out. So if you've never been before, make sure that you find some time to go pay it a visit. And there's something for everybody there. So don't worry about like, oh, I have to take my family or I have to take, my wife or my girlfriend or my other significant other, whatever the case is. There's something for everybody to do. And it's a very fun experience. And you get to see a lot of stuff that you wouldn't get to see otherwise. So, heavily recommend going to Gen Con if you can.
Yeah. Sam recommends the zoo because she left one of the days. She's like, yeah, I'm not. She's like, I need a break from the con, so they went to the zoo. And apparently, it's a very nice zoo up there in Indy.
I didn't know that Indiana had a good zoo. It's definitely not on my list of zoos that are go visit these zoos.
Well, Apparently, it had dolphins and it had a really nice butterfly garden. So,
Oh yeah, I actually didn't know about the butterfly guy. Back.
no, I guess, I mean, tangents here at the end. The L5R video game had its demo at Gen Con, the little auto battler.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I jumped in on your demo of it by chance. I saw you getting going through the demo, and I was able to look over your shoulder and see kind of how the gameplay worked and everything like that. It's pretty cool. Nothing groundbreaking and anything like that. Very auto battler plus Slay the Spire, I think is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, no. I like to call it
Is,
Crab the Spire.
is it a PvP game?
Nah.
No, at least not for now, but
I
I
see.
doubt get that far.
Yeah, all it was is it was just three little scenarios. So it has like some roguelite elements, so you can, kind of push your luck how far you want to go into the Shadowlands. And like at bosses, you can kind of go back to like camp or whatever, and then, change out party members, it seems like, and then get more party members. But seems like there might be permadeath for maybe the non story relevant characters. Yeah, it looked cool. It played all right. Like I had fun with it. I was much more excited. I was able to actually get my hands on a copy of River of Gold, which I am super stoked to get to the table this coming weekend. So
It's reviewed very well. I know that my friend said that it might be the best Euro game he's ever played before. So definitely check it out if you can. I think sold out of copies at the con itself, but you could probably go and order it online.
yeah, no, they plenty of. It seems like there's plenty of copies. Like it was actually produced to scale, so you should be able to find it at your local game store and stuff. But yeah, no, the table presence on it is like next level. That like gold leaf for the river and everything, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, I think that this is something I just want to comment about in general. Last year I went to when I was at Gen Con, they had a little section for L5R stuff. Um, they had a little section for Star Wars Unlimited, so you can go demo the game. But man, like the Fantasy Flight presence last year at Gen Con was basically zero. I remember I was looking for Marvel Champion stuff, and so I went to go to the Asmodee booth, and I asked the girl who was working there. I was like, "Hey, do you guys have your Fantasy Flight product in a certain section?" Said, "What's Fantasy Flight?"
Oh no.
So, this just goes to show, I guess how successful this game has been so far for Fantasy Flight. I think to where, they had a pretty significant section in the exhibit hall this year, and it was, big. They had all the L5R stuff out for River of Gold, for the roguelite. They had all their other games up on display too, and so I think just the power of this game and its popularity and I guess the money it's make for the company have really allowed them to kind of re-blossom. So whatever reservations that you have about Fantasy Flight, obviously I have a ton myself. Um, at the very least, I think that the one positive for SWU is that they are making a lot of money from this game, and I think that's a positive enough sign of encouragement for them to continue supporting it, and hopefully they continue to do as good of a job as they have been so far. Obviously, there's still room for them to grow in that regard, but as long as they're trending in the direction with support, then I think that the game is going to continue to do well and hopefully have a long lifespan, which I know is the big thing that people are kind of trepidatious
Audacious
about.
about. Yeah.
So at least right now, things are positive. And if you are trying to get into the game, like myself, I think that now is as good a time as any to hop on one. The set is still, there's still only a couple sets before the third set, so you don't have to learn as much. And the product that they have for learning the game, the starter product is also great too. So this is a great time to check it out. Just try it out and see if you like it or not. The starter products, they $25-30 each. So it's very accessible to get into, and you can try it out.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So, yeah, I guess with all that being said, we can kind of close this one out. So, yeah. This is, oh, yeah. I forgot because there are things to say at the end of the podcast again. Hey, check out our YouTube channel. There's stuff going up on there. We've got the Tyler interview. If you're interested in Marvel Crisis Protocol, I have some of that from our local LVO qualifier. The rounds for that will be up on there. And hopefully some more Star Wars content, more other content. The YouTube channel will start having things. And then, the Facebook group. Just look up the Jade Throne Podcast on Facebook and join us on there. I do a bunch of posts. People chat. It's a pretty cool place. And then, yeah, I guess before we close out, any shout outs or anything from you guys?
Shout out to the devs of the great job. Sorry, that came out more sarcastic than I wanted to. They've actively done a very good job with this game. I'm super excited to play it some more, and I want this game to do well.
And for me, just this is going to be a Gencon shout out. Shout outs to Alex Jacobs, old listener of this podcast. I don't know if he does or not, but he hosts a ballroom dance class at Gencon that I took the past 2 years, and it's been a ton of fun. And I had a lot of fun doing that. And so,
Heck yeah. Well, cool. I guess with all that being said, this has been the Jade Throne Podcast. I've been your host, Shey.
This is Aneil.
and I'm Handsome Dan.
And take it easy, everyone.